I say the should not cry. It's not possible. When is telling us that we should tighten our debt and they are losing their own? Okay? You are telling us there is no money for that, there is no money for that. But we are seeing the way you are wasting funds on things that are not necessary.
And you taught us. If we were your children, who you are already looking forward to graduate and assist the family after the suffering, would you add 1 year to our remaining 2 months? Greatest Nigerian students. Let's bring them.
Before I talk, President, you want to talk to your people, right? To impending crisis. Okay? Now you are aware what we have been doing, what we have been enduring as a nation. And we are glad that you are not going to leave here the same way you came, because you are better informed now.
Everything like this is the fact of ASUU. 1992, we told government when Minna was carrying gun, threatening our people was a young lecture. When he was carrying gun to threaten our leaders. It doesn't matter. It's not just the lecturer pay from his pocket or the student you will contribute in the class and you get matter and you begin to use it. That's what it should be. I was in class one day. I could run out of the board.
If you take a look at our laboratories, for example, that's where I know most. Laboratories, studios, workshops, farms.
The union wants to call on President Tinubu's administration to timely evaluate and sign the negotiated agreement, which we consider to be an important step toward resolving these impasses and restoring the credibility and efficiency of the Nigerian university system vis-a-vis patriotism among academics in public universities. We remain dedicated to collaborating with the government to ensure that the Nigerian academic environment is beneficial to staff and students. The union demands that the Tinubu administration should address these issues urgently to prevent additional brain drain, industrial disharmony, and disgruntled academics lecturing our students in public universities. For the avoidance of doubts, federal government unilaterally awarded 25%/35% salary increment and backdated the commencement date to January 2023. Arrears yet to be paid. To us in the union, the act is a typical example of tokenism instead of collective bargaining. Another issue, non-payment of earned academic allowances and promotion arrears. The Nigerian government is known for not fulfilling promises, as federal and state governments are owing various allowances and arrears all over our campuses. The money meant for payment of arrears of earned academic allowances, which was captured in the 2023 budget, has not been released as we speak. The arrears in question are for work done by our members over 5 years ago. With the current inflation rate in the country, the money has significantly devalued to next to nothing. Yet the government is comfortable with holding the money despite being budgeted for. In the same light, promotion arrears are being owed lecturers as far back as 2018 in some campuses. As a matter of fact, agents of governments are now using the arrears as bait to extort lecturers. This is made possible because they are carrying out selective payment of the arrears, and as such, people felt those paid actually bribed to get paid. As stated in the previous press statement by the union, it is time for government to pay up what they are owing and stop being a bad debtor. Another issue, with their salaries. Recall that the then Minister of Labour, Dr. Chris Ige, via a memo to the Ministry of Finance, stopped the payments of salaries of lecturers in federal universities from March 2022 till 13 days into October 2022. Instead of addressing the issue that led to the strike, he was busy finding a way to destroy the union. The information available to us that the president has ordered the release of retail salaries, which have become worthless due to inflation. Up to now, there is still an outstanding of 3 months plus yet to be paid. The work they claim were not done during the strike have since been cleared under very frustrating and harsh conditions. Some of our members died as a result of stress just to fulfill their mandates. We call on the president to prevail on whoever that is not implementing his directive to quickly release the retail salaries. Another issue, exception from IPIs and non-release of third-party deductions. Comparator of the press, recall that in December 2023, the Minister of Education, after a FEC meeting, told the world that tertiary institutions are now exempted from the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPIs, on the position of federal universities by the immediate past Buhari-led government. It is worrisome that up to June 2024, 6 months after, IPI is still operating on our campuses. This is a pure lack of political will to carry out directive from president or even fake by some elements of the government that might be influenced by people outside the government who are beneficiaries of the dubious payment platform. Consequences of the continuous incursion of the autonomy of the universities are dubious and criminal withholding third-party deductions like union dues, cooperative deductions, pension deductions, national housing fund, and selective payment of promotion arrears, etc. It is only in Nigeria that salaries will be paid, and deductions made from salaries will be kept by criminally minded agents of government. And our union therefore call on government to mandate its agents in IPIs to immediately release all deductions that are being kept illegally with them for peace to reign in Nigeria public universities. Also, IPIs should be, as a matter of urgency, be replaced by the intellectually driven and robust University Transparency and Accountability Solution, UTAS. Proliferation and funding of public universities. Gentlemen of the press, it is important to know that our union has consistently speak against poor funding and proliferation of universities, state and federal. While governments, federal and state, are not adequately funding the existing universities, more are being established in form of constituency projects. This is making a caricature of the university system, just as they debased our public primary and secondary schools. As we speak, there are several bills at the National Assembly and state assemblies to establish universities to convert existing polytechnics and colleges of education to universities without having plans on ground to improve funding to current ones or the ones they are creating. Very absurd behavior. Our union is calling for review of ASUU law to curb this ugly trajectory. To be forewarned. Compatriots, the core issues are not hard to resolve. With adequate political will from the government, the President of the Federal Republic should take its time to study and understand issues raised by the union with a view to speedily prevent another round of crisis and industrial ceremony in our every tour. One would think the President will walk the talk of renewed hope, of no more strike. Unfortunately, all actions from the presidency is indicating otherwise because it is more like renewed hopelessness. ASUU is calling on President Tinubu to urgently meet with the leadership of the union so that both parties can have honest interrogation of the issues. Also, state governments should stop deliberate medisomeness in state universities and embark on positive drive that will put a stop to destruction of state universities. In conclusion, the union is by this press conference calling on well-meaning Nigerians to prevail on the federal government of Nigeria to live up to his expectations on the following: A. Conclude, sign, and immediately implement the Professor Nimibri's committee negotiation agreement. B. Immediate payment of retail salaries. C. Payment of promotion arrears and academic allowances without delay. D. Direct IPIS to immediately release all third-party deductions that are still criminally being held by them. E. Federal and state government should stop the provision of universities while review of AUC law is being initiated. F. Immediate implementation of exemption of universities from the highly discredited IPIS. Closing remark. While the union and its members are committed to the mandate of molding young minds, despite government's continuous attack on the academia in form of poor funding and condition of service, we would not kowtow to slavery, and as such, we will react. Items A to F above are low-hanging fruits that can guarantee continuous industrial harmony in our public universities. To be forewarned. Thank you all for your time.
There is need for everybody to shift ground. Let the federal government listen, let them call them. There is nothing, I believe, there is nothing that negotiation or dialogue cannot solve. Let the federal government invite ASUU and hear them out. Because hearing that the federal government have not given them a platform to speak doesn't really speak well of our country and the government. There is need for dialogue. When a body stands up to make a demand or registers their dissatisfaction in whatever it is, there is a need for those bodies to be invited and be listened to. If their demands are not reasonable, then you listen to them and then you know. But you have to call them and listen to them first and then know why these demands are necessary. I believe if the demands ASUU are making are met, the students will not be in this period. And I want to repeat that the students should not be meant to bear the bonds of this recurrent menace. It is not our fault in any way. The school fees that we've been asked to pay, we have paid. The accommodation fee, we pay. What we want is to finish our academic program in peace and return home. Many of our parents toil day and night to make a living just to ensure that their children get this Western education. But with this increased ASUU strike, you are getting people, you are getting youth lose interest in education. Because somebody, I could remember, we had 1 year strike due to pandemic and also due to corona pandemic. And ASUU strike also joined. We also had 8-month strike. I can recall a lot of students that lost interest in education. Some left school to do other things. Why? Because of the strike. So the moment this strike persists, students keep losing interest in education. They keep getting involved in social vices like drug abuse, cultism, rape, and the rest of them, thereby increasing the state of insecurity in the country. So we are urging the government to please, for the sake of the nation at large, for the sake of the youth, for the sake of even the non-educated, because when the students are affected, this is going to also impact even those who are yet to be educated. Because when you send youths home and they are doing nothing and they engage in social vices, they are going to become threats to the society. So we are telling both ASUU and the government that we are not comfortable with the strike. We don't want to be involved in this. We want to finish our school successfully. Thank you.